Welcome in, everybody, to another series of TinChattin. I'm Collins, Mike Maahs. Mike, this is our first meeting, right?
Welcome to the zoo.
Man, it should be fun. Well, we're going to dive right into it. The TinCaps looking good so far for their series against the Lansing Lugnuts. Right now, they're 3-0 in the series. What are the odds they can walk away with a sweep?
I won't say give the odds because odds are it won't happen, but this is the third six-game series that these two teams have played each other this year. First series of the year up in Lansing, TinCaps took 5 out of 6. And that was the the second full week of the season in mid to late April. And then in early June, second trip to Lansing, TinCaps took 4 out of 6. So 9 out of 12 coming into this series. The TinCaps find Lansing the one team that they seem to have a lot of success with. And who would have thunk it that they would have won Tuesday night, Wednesday night, last night, hopefully tonight. But the TinCaps now are 12-3 against Lansing this year. And it seems like some of the players have just had some of their best performances against this ball club.
And I think it's kind of coming back after Lake County, their series with them. They ended with a split 3-3. And I think towards the end of that series, that's when we start seeing the Fort Wayne offense get rolling. I think that kind of just transferred over into this series, wouldn't you kind of say?
You go back to Game 2 of the Lake County series, and it was a game where the TinCaps fell behind early. And in fact, going into the bottom of the 8th inning, they trailed Lake County 9-3. But in the bottom of the 8th, they rallied and scored 6 runs, got the crowded Parkview Field fired up, tied the game. Unfortunately, they lost it in extra innings. But that seemed, I mentioned this on our radio broadcast, that may have been the catalyst to turn this thing around that the TinCaps have fought with all year long. They go off and win the next 3 games against the Captains, lose the series finale. And then here we go. Lansing comes to town, and it was a perfect time for Lansing to be here because now you've got a little taste of success. TinCaps have only won 2 6-game series this season. And they were the first 2 6-game series they played at home against South Bend, on the road at Lansing. And now they get a split, their second split of a 6-game series. So they're starting to feel better. And then you come and you get these 3 wins these last 3 nights. And it also has not hurt that the crowds have supported this team as they've always done since its inception in 1993 very well. We had over 6,500 fans in the ballpark last night. And the TinCaps jumped out to a 4-0 lead, only to see Lugnuts come back with 2 1/4, 2 1/5 to tie it. Robert Gasser, who we say is the ace of the staff. Truthfully, sometimes we're not figuring out why he hasn't been promoted yet. But he had an off night, gave up those 4 runs in the 3rd inning. But then he pitched 2 more scoreless innings, went 5 innings overall. Game tied until the bottom of the 8th, and we found a way to get that run across and get the win.
And I think it's only been a few times where we see the good pitching and the good offense come together as one. Usually early in the season, you know, it's been one or the other. Good pitching, bad batting, or good batting and bad pitching. And I think, like, we've seen plenty of times this year, whether they're down 9-0 and then the last inning they put up 9 runs. There's been plenty of games where I'm there shooting and I come back to edit and I come back and I get an update text like, you know, the TinCaps are up. So I think that offense, it's surprising that they don't get off to earlier starts as they should. But I think if they can probably get that going in the second half of the season or the second part of the season, I think they should be pretty good.
A couple of things to think about, Elijah. Number one, statistically, the TinCaps have the lowest team batting average in the Midwest League. They have the fewest home runs hit in the Midwest League. But they're amongst the leaders in stolen bases. They have the second best team fielding percentage in the league. They lead the league in double plays turned with 72. Last night, was the night that belonged to the pitchers. We mentioned Robert Gasser going 5 innings. Nick Twaits comes in, retires all 9 batters he faces. And then Ramon Perez comes in the 9th inning after TinCaps got the lead. And he set the side down 1, 2, 3, striking out 2 of the 3 batters he faced. The bullpen last night retired all 12 batters they faced. And you count the last batter that Gasser faced, and he retired 13 hitters in a row, retired by TinCap pitching. So.
And I think he's probably been one of their most dynamic pitchers. I think it's safe to say so far this year.
Yeah.
As a team, I think they're, a 4.64 ERA or something like that. But I think he's definitely one of their elite pitchers.
The other thing we need to talk about briefly, if we can, Robert Hassel III, who, as we speak, is in Los Angeles. He's going to play in the Major League Futures game tomorrow at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. And he is in the top 10 in 7 offensive categories in the Midwest League. He's second in the league in hitting, top 10 in a total of 7 out of the 12 categories. He missed some time trying to make what would have been a tremendous catch last week. I believe it was Thursday night in deep center field, and didn't play Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Didn't play Tuesday night. He was the DH on Wednesday, played in center field last night.
Right.
And offensively, he's the catalyst.
Yeah.
He and Corey Rozier. And for a good part of the season, it was Rozier hitting first, Hassel hitting second. And they are the straw that stirs the drink offensively for Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Now, when Max Ferguson came here, they moved Rozier down in the order to either the 5 or the 6 slot. But Robert Hassel came back and immediately picked up where he left off in terms of hitting and reaching base and playing a flawless center field. And just his addition to the lineup fired this team up.
Yeah. And I think that's where that lineup kind of comes in play. You can mix and mingle those pieces. We saw Corey Rozier batting leadoff, now Max Ferguson, and obviously Cole Cummings coming in. Not batting leadoff, but he's still a pretty good hitter, I think 275 right now. So have the ability to move those pieces around, even if you move Corey Rozier down the lineup. It's like having 2 leadoff hitters.
It is, really. And then you take a person like Matthew Acosta, who in his first 2 games as a TinCap went 5 for 7. He has played first base, he has played center field, and he has played right field. And so he has versatility. Earlier this week, Brian Esposito mentioned the fact that for the foreseeable future, at least 1 game in every series, he's going to have Max Ferguson in center field.
Yeah.
So he can go short, second, or center. And I think that's what's happening with almost every team nowadays at major and minor league levels. Front offices are looking for players that can play multiple positions. And where in years past that wasn't the case.
Yeah, and it's funny that you bring that up. When we were growing up Little League, you didn't play just one position. You played center, shortstop, everywhere. And then coming up, that's when they kind of wanted you to dial into one position. And now it's kind of funny that we're kind of going back to those old traditional ways, being able to, play left field, right field, center field, having that ability to, move those pieces around.
Oh, that helped. For the TinCaps to what I call make a statement. They've won 3 in a row against Lansing. They've won 6 of their last 7 overall. They've got the game tonight, the game tomorrow night, the game Sunday afternoon. That wraps up the second of 2 12-game homestands that they've had this year. The traditional day off on Monday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday because of the Major League All-Star break. 3-game series in Dayton. Dayton basically has self-imploded since they decided not to win the first half Eastern Division title that they had a stranglehold on with even 4 days left in the first half and basically blew it. You got Dayton, the off day, and then 6 games against Peoria. And Peoria is no higher than 4th in the West.
Yeah.
And it's the opportunity right now to maintain the confidence and the positive factors and to make up some ground. The worst part of the TinCap schedule this year was the stretch between May 1st and May 24th.
Yeah.
And they lost 23 out of 29 games. Other than that, they'd be in the race right now.
Yeah.
So
It's a rough stretch.
the opportunity is there, and let's see, the carrot's dangling. Can they grab it?
Yeah.
And we'll find out.
We'll find out. Well, hopefully the TinCaps continue that, and hopefully we see some good stuff from Robert Hassel over next week in the Features All-Star Game. But that'll do it for TinChattin. I'm Elijah Collins, my man Mike Maahs for our first TinChattin. Hopefully we'll be able to do it again. That'll do it. We'll see you right after the break.